Are you planning to enter the real estate market in 2024? Wondering how to identify a great deal in this ever-changing market? It's time to prepare for success. Join us today as we share invaluable strategies and insights to help you make informed and savvy real estate investments. My name is LJ Aguinaga, real estate broker at LJ Realties. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. All your feedback helps me create new content for you. Real estate is a long-term investment, and while the market may evolve, the principles of spotting a good deal remain consistent. Step 1. Understand the market trends. Start by researching the current real estate market trends in your target area. Are prices rising, stabilizing, or declining? Understanding the market's direction is key to making informed decisions. Now, everybody's market is different, and it's really important to go out and speak to professionals to understand what's going on. Some markets will have public statistics, other markets will have more private statistics, and you're actually going to have to reach out to a real estate broker or possibly a research firm to have the information that you're looking for. But I can't stress enough how important it is to have the information at hand so you can make the best decision for yourself. Step 2. Define your investment goals. What's your purpose for buying real estate? Are you looking for rental income, long-term appreciation, or a place to call home? Your goals will dictate your strategy. Now, in this case, every time I meet with a new client, the first thing we do is try to get an understanding for what are your long-term goals? What do we actually want to do with this property? And depending on those goals, we're going to set up a completely different game plan from one property to the next. So you have to understand what is your goal, and it's also okay that if those goals are going to change over the next couple of years or we pivot along the way, that's totally okay. But by setting up the initial goals, we'll be in the best position possible to move forward. Step 3, get your financing in order. Speak to a mortgage broker or lender to understand your borrowing capacity and secure pre-approval. Having financing in place gives you a competitive edge. And this is something that a lot of people will try and challenge me on and say, oh, I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it later. But the reality is, if you don't have a pre-approval, first of all, we're not going to go visit any properties. Second of all, you're in absolutely no position to make any offers or negotiate because nobody knows if you can actually qualify for these properties. And it's happened more than once where somebody says that, yeah, it's all good. And then they go for a pre-approval and they realize that, unfortunately, a cell phone bill from 2015 that they hadn't finished paying off because they left the country or whatever it may have been is actually left a blemish on the record. And with only maybe $100 to pay off that last balance, if you will, we can completely fix that and we're in perfectly good shape to move forward. But if we don't take these steps, we don't know. And what we don't know will eventually hurt us in a real estate transaction. So make sure you have all the information ready to go. Step 4, research neighborhoods thoroughly. Dig deep into neighborhoods you're interested in. Consider factors like school districts, crime rates, proximity to amenities, and future development plans. Location is critical. You hear it all the time. Location, location, location. You want to invest in neighborhoods with strong growth potential and a history of appreciation. Now, this is something that's also part of that first meeting that we have with clients, and we really outline what's important to you. Where do you work? Where do your kids go to school? Where are you planning on being in the near future? And with this information, we can usually make a game plan as to how far we want to drive or walk to public transit, whatever it might be. But understanding this is critical to getting us into the right property. Step 5, seek professional guidance. Don't hesitate to reach out to experienced real estate professionals, including agents, brokers, or investment advisors. Real estate transactions can be complex, but with the right guidance, they can also be incredibly rewarding, potentially making it one of the best experiences of your life. And I know a lot of people have second thoughts about this, but realistically, if you're making the largest investment of your life, you want to make sure that you're prepared with the right team surrounding you. And it's critical to have the support from that team in order to be guided to the path of success. Step 6, perform due diligence. Once you've identified a property, conduct thorough due diligence. Inspect the property, review the inspection reports, check for the title history for any red flags, review all the documentation. There's so many things we can do to protect ourselves from potentially buying a lemon. And a lot of times people are kind of so excited with the idea of buying a home that they try and skip a step or two. Now, we don't allow that to happen at our company, but if you are in a rush, we still want to make sure that we do a full, thorough due diligence on every property because you want to avoid potentially really expensive mistakes down the road. Step 7, assess the investment's potential. Crunch the numbers, calculate potential rental income, operating expenses, and potential appreciation. Ensure your investment aligns with your financial goals. And what I tell a lot of clients on this note is ultimately it's going to come down to the Excel. Does our spreadsheet work or does it not work? Are all of the considerations that we've put into the Excel spreadsheet realistic? Have you put an appreciation that doesn't really make sense with where the market is right now? Or are you aligned with being conservative in your approach in order to make sure that you have the best investment possible? Step 8, consider the long term. Remember that real estate is a long-term investment. Focus on properties that have the potential to appreciate over time rather than chasing short-term gains. Real estate isn't the stock market. You can't just buy in, jump out, jump in, jump out whenever you want. You really have to make sure that you're buying a property that's going to work for you for at least the next 5 years. That's what I tell all of my clients. If you're thinking of selling in less than 5 years and you're not a professional flipper, it's probably not worth it. You're probably better off renting for the next couple of years until you have a better understanding of where you're going to be in the future. So that's kind of the minimum term that I consider for buying real estate. Step 9, understand market cycles. Real estate markets go through cycles of ups and downs just like any other market. Learn to identify where the market stands in its cycle to make more strategic decisions. Now, this is super, super important. So important that I'm actually releasing another video on this subject to really break it down. But to give you a little bit of a topical review on it is that markets sometimes obviously go up, sometimes they go down, and sometimes they're staying steady. But it's super important to distinguish what's happening in the market today versus last quarter versus 12 months ago. And understand that we're really looking at, is this the spring cycle, which is usually a bit busier? Is this the summer months where usually things cool down in our Montreal market? And comparing 12 months ago to today to understand what's actually happening in that respect, as opposed to just what we saw last quarter versus this quarter, which usually changes on us, okay? So make sure you get a good understanding of that. And finally, step 10, be patient and disciplined. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of buying real estate, but patience and discipline are key. Sometimes waiting for the right opportunity is the best strategy. And a lot of the times we have this nice pre-approval and we have the money set aside and we're so eager to get out there that we want to make an investment right away. But the reality is we want to make sure we find the right investment. And I've worked with some clients sometimes for 3 or 4 years because we've been hunting for that right investment and then we finally find it and then we can really build on that to start our portfolio. So don't rush into anything when it comes to real estate and make sure that you have the long term in mind. So there you have it, the essential steps to spot a good real estate deal in 2024. Remember, real estate is a dynamic market, but with the right knowledge and approach, you can make a sound investment that pays off for years to come. Feel free to get in touch with me and my team if you have any questions or need guidance along the way. We're here to support you in your real estate journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights on real estate and investment. As always, feel free to share your thoughts and questions in the comments down below. What strategies do you think will make you the most successful in 2024? Thank you so much for watching.